Slashers and Scream Queens. Welcome back to another episode of the Horror Daddies. It is your Horror Daddy Carlos here, and I'm with
your film daddy John,
and your baby daddy Sid.
And happy Halloween, guys.
Happy
Halloween.
We're obviously filming this episode way before Halloween, but
Yes.
this is considered a Halloween special.
Yes. So with that being said, I do want to say happy birthday to Halloween 1978 because we are recording on the birthday of Halloween, October 25th. So happy birthday.
2020.
I mean, yeah, 42 years.
Oh,
So yeah,
wow,
we watched
42
Halloween.
years old.
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
That's insane.
And still holds up.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Except
It's
for the-
really good.
Yeah, it's a little slow in the beginning, but we get over it. You
Yeah,
know,
we
the ending
definitely.
is very
It's short. It's a lot
It's
shorter
short.
than I thought.
and the ending I think makes it up
Yeah, for sure.
good.
Yeah.
So that being said, first thoughts of the movie. You want to start?
Yeah. So I like this movie a lot. It gave me my favorite horror movie sequel, 2018. Come at me if you want to. It's slow in the beginning. It's kind of like, but it builds tension to the point where like the ending is worth it. And the ending, I've seen it so many times, so I know when the jumps are coming, so it's not like as scary. But for someone who hasn't seen it,
Yeah,
Sydney.
he was waiting for me to jump.
yeah, it still holds up. So because she screams, so I'm like, yep, this movie still does it for me.
Yeah, it was very well filmed.
Mhm.
I think it's one of those slow paced movies, but this does take place in a very weird time period, because this was at a time where like there was no laws against stalking people, so like this was like a legitimate
Yeah.
fear that
Ugh.
people had, and
I can't imagine a world where you can legally stalk someone.
yeah, it's fucked up. Once we jump into Friday 13th, there's more facts about that movie with stalking, but we'll get to that in that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very well shot. There was a lot of things that I was impressed by, and considering the budget as well, which was very, very low for a big budget, or for a big movie like this one.
The budget was low for a big
Yeah,
budget movie.
I feel like John wasn't expecting this to be big, as big as it got.
Yeah, I know.
and I mean,
Well,
how
he's
many remakes has there been?
Yeah,
well,
3 remakes, and then like how many sequels? Like
okay. So there's been the one remake with Rob and
Yeah.
his sequel, but then rebooting wise, it was 1 to 3.
And that being said, this movie was actually, the script was written in like 10 days.
Yeah.
Like they
Oh,
wrote
wow.
the script like super fast, and I think
I
it was
mean-
only filmed in 20 days.
Yeah, like 2022, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
really
crazy.
That is crazy fast, but also if you watch it knowing that, it's kind of like, yeah, I get it.
I mean, it does have a lot of subtle things.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if it was accidental, but
Just some
I
of the
mean,
lines are kind of like, wow, that's on the nose.
yeah, this one has a lot of weird.
And there's some stuff that happens, and I'm like, how does this make sense? But we'll get there.
Yeah. So, Sydney, what did you think about the movie?
I really liked it. It was a very slow movie, and I mean, I do think that it paid off. But the payoff was kind of short.
Yeah,
You think
I
so?
can
Like
see
I
that.
feel like the building up to it was a lot longer than the payoff
Okay.
part. But there was definitely some good jump scares. I screamed at one point.
Yeah, I got scared. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah,
I
it was
loved
great.
it. I knew they were coming.
Yeah, the whole time Carlos is in the back like watching me, and I'm like, okay, well
I'm
now
like,
I know
shoulda-
something's
I should have
coming.
recorded you, and I totally forgot. That would have been great.
Yeah,
for
that would've been
the-
really funny.
for
We
the
should-
socials.
Yeah, we should do that. That'd
I'm
be pretty
I'm
fun.
gonna just start like next week.
Just
We have a
make
surprise
sure-
next week, guys.
Oh yeah.
Don't let me notice you.
Okay. No, I'll probably sit behind you again. But are we gonna jump to spoilers?
Yeah, I
now?
think so. I
All
think we should just jump right in.
Yeah. So if anyone doesn't know, this was directed and written by directed by John Carpenter, and then he wrote it with Deborah Hill.
Yes, he also did the film score.
Yes, and the score is amazing
The
in
score
this
is
one and in
amazing.
2018. Sorry, I'm gonna say that a lot.
And fun fact, he made this entire score in just 3 days.
Yes,
That
he
is pretty. That's
did.
pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen this movie, which will surprise me if you haven't, It is only an hour and 30 minutes long,
Mm-hmm.
and it's rated R. I mean, it doesn't matter, but
And it's worth it. Go watch it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think everyone should watch this movie.
Yes.
Like, you have to.
and if you haven't seen none of the Halloween movies, watch this one and jump straight to 2018. Trust me, that's how you'll know you'll like it. Do not go watch the sequels. After you watch 2018, then watch the sequels, and you'll see what mess of a series it turned out.
Yeah,
to be.
I feel like, or you could just watch it all the way through, and then you'll learn to appreciate
Yeah.
2018 because
that's true.
it's like they never got it right. Oh, the second one is not that bad.
It's not, and I'm not shitting on the sequels. I do
I am.
like them.
I
It's-
am.
I don't like Rob Zombies that much.
I haven't
The-
seen any of them
yeah.
yet. So
I am a fan of 4. I do like 4. I feel like 4 was one of the better sequels after 2.
Mhm.
5 and 6. And then Resurrection was just fucking trash. But everyone has their own favorite. I
Yeah.
understand and I get it, and I'm trying not to shit on your movies, but this was a mess of a series.
Yeah, I think each one has something that you will like about
Yeah,
it,
for sure.
but there's some that just it's really hard
Yeah.
to find something.
My issues is the mask. If the mask is not right, it bothers me, and they never got it right to me.
This
until,
mask is like magical.
and I feel like Rob Zombie got close to it,
Yeah.
and I can respect him for that, but the movie was just too much background. And okay, so I'm gonna start ranting, y'all. I love this. Like,
we rant during the episode. Yeah, no, I want to watch it just because there's a lot to talk about.
I'm gonna. I love Michael. He's daddy.
So about the mask, wasn't it just like some random mask that they spray painted?
Yeah,
white?
so it was
Yeah.
a Captain Kirk, like from Star Trek.
Okay.
The Captain Kirk, like they had like weird latex.
It was actually
mask.
really creepy as Captain
Yeah.
Kirk, and I feel like
they made it even worse. So it's great because I like watching some YouTube videos of people's collectibles and stuff, and they're always like trying to get it perfect, and like the shadow isn't right enough and all that.
Yeah.
And then they had someone that worked in the movie,
Oh,
and
that's cool.
yeah, so like he literally just tore off the sideburns because they had like really long sideburns,
Mhm.
and then tore off the eyebrows, and then just kind of missed some paint onto it, like white paint. Oh, and then cut like the eyes a little
Oh, yeah.
bigger, and literally that was it. And they're like, yep, just let the lighting do the trick. And I'm
Mhm.
just laughing because I'm like, people spend hundreds of dollars to try to get it perfect, and it's like,
Wow.
well, I mean, it's lighting, like there's more to it than
Yeah.
it's just a plain mask. But considering that this wasn't even the original mask that they were gonna go for,
No,
there was gonna be, I think it's Emmett Kelly's like
They were-
Wary Willie
I think
mask.
so. And I think they were also considering a clown.
Yes, that's the one I'm
is
talking about.
okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah, because the clown is the one that they have in the very beginning.
No, this is
yeah,
like
no,
a
but
like
they
a
were
latex.
trying. They were trying to
clown
think of
mask.
another
Oh,
clown mask. So
okay.
he was gonna stay like a clown.
Gotcha.
But they went with this, and like you were saying, making the mask. I feel like that was the problem with the sequels. They just never got it right, and since
No.
they lost the original one, they
Mhm.
just couldn't use it.
But it was so easy to make, so how could they not get it
It's
right?
just it was like one of those things they did it almost like on the spot. Like
Yeah.
it was just magic that just
He
happened.
needed the mask. They made a mask, and he liked it, and
And-
they used it.
And the actor also matters too, because in
Yeah.
the second movie they used the same mask from the first one, but the actor had a wider face, so his mask kind of
It
stretches.
looked.
a little
You
bit.
would think it's a different mask.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's just crazy that like it's
That
literally
is
just
crazy.
magic in a
Mhm.
bottle or lightning in a bottle.
And they
That-
the
there you
mask
go.
the mask resurfaced in the recent years, and it looks like shit.
Yeah,
The
because latex is
yeah.
natural material. It's from a
Ooh,
tree.
I want to know that story.
Yeah, it's fucked
Yeah.
up. But it's just
How does it
there's a store.
resurface?
I don't know actually.
I don't have facts on that right now, guys. So, but if I can look it up and search for you, but I know that it resurfaced, and I saw a picture of it, and it looks so bad.
Yeah, let me see if I can find
Like
it
if they
real quick.
would have used that in 2018, God, it would have looked so silly.
Let me find it real quick.
I want to know
But-
the story about it resurfacing.
Yeah. So, and I think Deborah Hill kept it after the first one, and when they used it for the second one, it disappeared after that.
Yeah.
So after the second one, it disappeared.
So
Okay.
there's a theory that this is the mask how it's supposed to look like in recent years.
Sorry, you can't see it right
Oh,
now,
okay.
guys, but Google it.
we can post it on our
on Instagram,
yeah.
or
yeah,
whatever.
on social media.
So there's theories that Deborah Hill had it and she kept it underneath her house, like her
Under her bed,
floorboards.
and she
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
under
heavy
her bed.
smoker.
Yeah, she was a heavy, which
Oh.
I don't really believe that story. So it's just like a theory that people throw out
Yeah.
in there, or a rumor, I should say, because smoke rises. It
Yeah, that's true.
doesn't affect the bottom.
I mean,
So-
if she was a heavy smoker, smoke is gonna be throughout
And
the
that-
whole
throughout the
room.
house.
I guess so. But I mean, it is sensitive. It's latex. It just
Yeah.
rots over
Yeah.
time. So You know,
which I'm sad for my
Okay,
mask.
but how funny would it have been if they used it?
that would. Ew.
I mean, just wearing it would have just probably smelled so.
Yeah, it must have rained. Ugh. so
okay,
nasty.
sorry guys.
All
We'll
right.
get into this movie now. Sorry. All right.
Now
so-
let's jump into the movie. Yeah.
So the movie basically begins with a POV shot. We don't know who it is. If you've seen it, you know who it is, obviously. But we don't know who it is, and it's someone walking up to the house
Yeah,
and
he's
looking
like
through
kind
the
of
window.
stalking like the outside, looking inside.
Yeah. And we look inside and we see this two teenagers, a boy and a girl, and they're kind of making out on the couch. And she whispers in his ear, "Hey, let's get freaky dicky upstairs." And so they go upstairs to get freaky dicky. And the POV shot, by the way, this shot is done in one whole shot.
It's a one take.
Yeah,
shot,
it's a
so
one-take
there's no
shot.
cuts
That's
throughout the whole thing.
So cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna start ranting. So, anyways, it keeps going behind the house, and the person goes through the back door into the kitchen, and they grab the knife here.
Yeah.
And
You see their hand in the shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like they're wearing like a clown costume.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's all you see. It's just a hand stretching, grabbing stuff.
yeah, the knife.
Yeah, and it's a pretty small hand.
Yeah, I thought it was a dummy. So it's going through the kitchen, goes to the dining room, and when he looks upstairs, the guy's already leaving. So, by the way, she got dicked down real fucking quick.
Yeah,
Real
it was super
quick.
fast.
Yeah, like
Like
he was in and out.
but I
That's
believe it
it.
because teenagers just.
He's
I was a
two-
teen once, you know what I'm saying? So like,
That's what they call a two pump chump.
Hey,
Yep.
that's what I was gonna say.
Well, you should have said it faster.
I didn't want to interrupt him.
oh, sorry. Okay, so the guy leaves, and then the POV shot stays going up the stairs, and this is when the person sees the mask on the ground, grabs a mask, puts it on. It's a clown mask, and he walks into his sister's room.
She got big titties.
Oh, God.
Like
Huge.
huge titties.
And they're like nice looking big titties
Yeah.
Oh
too.
my God.
I'm just saying, it was some worth noting.
Listen,
Jeez.
We know that you don't love them,
No,
but
I mean I can appreciate them though. So she's brushing her hair naked. She's like, "Ooh, that date was so good."
Those
And
two
she's-
pumps,
yeah.
life changing.
And she turns around and she yells Michael. So here we find out that it was Michael stalking her. But fun fact, the POV shot was actually Deborah Hill doing the whole thing.
That's
it
cool.
wasn't really Michael. But
which is why it looks so tall. Because
yeah, it does look like a tall person walking through the POV shot.
Once you there's this reveal that it's a kid, and you're like, that kid was motherfucking tall.
Yeah, he was super tall.
So he stabs her to death, but we don't really see him stabbing her. He kind of like looks up and looks like his knife stabbing her. So we don't really see it. But then he looks down and all naked on the ground, dead.
Titties all out.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
And does the POV shot stays until he gets downstairs? Or does it
Yeah.
cut?
He
Okay,
goes
okay,
all the way
so-
downstairs, opens the door, and then that's when the parents
Yeah, the
come
parents
in.
show up. They take off the mask, and it switches to seeing the kid, and they yell, "Michael!"
Yeah, when they take the mask,
Yeah.
it like cuts to like the little kid just holding the knife
Yeah,
there
and
with
his face is blank, not speechless.
he just so when they take the mask off, he has like this like emotionless
Yeah, emotion. That's a word I was looking for.
expression. Like he just kind of like almost like he doesn't believe what he just did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
weird. Like
Or like he really just does not care.
yeah,
Which
it could be interpreted in many ways. To be honest.
Which I mean, I feel like getting into the realistic area, like if that kid actually was like that, the parents would have known before this. But I guess
This
they
is
don't
also a
really
So
know.
yeah,
different time
this
period.
is a
that's
different
true.
time. We don't know the backstory between the parents. We don't know if they were actually abusive to him. We don't know if
Oh.
the sister was abusive. And that here I go. That's what I love about Michael. That you don't know what is his purpose.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
why is he doing this? You don't know. That's what scares you because it's like why are you doing this? And he doesn't talk.
Yeah,
He
there's
just
like
stalks.
no like there's no reason like it's not like he like Rob Zombie made like he was abused, he was in an
Rob
abusive
Zombie gave him a
relationship.
backstory, and that's when I'm like, okay,
He
well, we
loses
didn't need
that
that.
interest.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like that's what makes Michael scary.
Yep.
That
'Cause
you
I-
don't know what's
Mhm.
going through his fucking mind.
Yeah, I also want to know like when he was younger, if
Mhm.
he still was like, because he didn't talk for 15 years.
Yeah.
So did he talk before that? Was he just
Yeah.
a normal
And
kid
that's
before
the thing.
this?
It's like we don't know. We
Yeah.
don't need to know, and
Well,
that's
no, we
what makes
don't.
him scary. And
But,
I
yeah.
love it. And
Just makes you
Michael,
think.
such a daddy.
And then at this point where they're like zooming out slowly with the parents and him
holding the knife.
it almost looks like they're frozen, but they're obviously just standing still.
They're just
Yeah.
and I love how they're just standing still. They're not trying to take the knife away from this kid, and they're just
No.
like,
No.
"What did you do?" I mean, they don't say that, but they're just staring at him. It's like, aren't you gonna like ask him?
Yeah, or
like
run inside. Like,
yeah,
what the
what's
fuck
wrong?
just
Yeah.
happened?
It almost kind of looks like they wanted it to be a picture that they zoomed out of,
Mhm.
but they also wanted like the environment in the background to
Yeah.
move.
I'm sure it's
Yeah.
like an aesthetic choice, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it's almost like that 1 second that lasts
Yeah,
forever.
it looks
so.
good. I love that. I love how they pan
Yeah,
out. And he's
it was
just
cool.
he's still emotionless, and also like his parents look like they have money. So it's like, what really happened to this kid? It's just us.
This
Yeah.
is so much.
I just
to
love
it.
to like always wonder. But here's when we actually cut
If
to
you have
the.
any theories, let us know.
Yes, I do have one that the sister just didn't take him trick or treating. She decided to get dick, and he got mad.
He's Michael Myers Sam. Confirmed.
Yeah. But sorry. So this is when we cut to 15 years later. It's October 30th, 1978 now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was 1963, the first scene.
Yeah.
And we see Loomis, and this is where we meet Loomis and the
It's like the nurse. One of the nurses.
She has a name, and I'm so sorry. As a Halloween fan, I should know this, and I forgot her name. But she is coming back
not
for
that
Halloween
important.
Kills. Well, she's coming back for Halloween Kills, actually.
Oh.
And she was in H2O. So I should know her name, but
The
sorry, guys.
mermaid?
I'm blanking right now.
The Mermaid Show?
What?
What?
H2O?
No.
So confused.
No, baby. Halloween 20 years later. Or as you know it, Halloween water.
Yeah.
But they're basically talking about Michael, and he's calling him an it, and she's like, shouldn't you call him a him? And he says no, that he's basically like evil or whatever.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
don't like how
human.
Loomis talks. He
Which-
talks like he's some poetic, like
He's
Shakespearean.
yeah, and very
character.
monotone. But what I like is that he describes Michael as like this being of evil,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, sorry, that's what makes him. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep going. Like,
Yeah.
that's what makes him scary.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
find it
because-
so odd. Like, it's just like that's not how people talk. Like,
Yeah.
people don't go
Yeah.
like the purest eye, the blackest eyes, and the most
oh, I
faceless.
love
and
it because I feel like
Yeah.
it's like giving Michael more scariness
Yeah,
to Michael.
He does make him, you
Yeah.
know, he builds him up to be like this.
Yeah.
He
He
doesn't know what the
does.
fuck he is.
Yeah.
so-
But then also, I was kind of like at this point, like, what exactly did this guy do to make him so scared of Michael? Because he just killed his sister. I mean, not just, that's an awful thing, but there's so many more awful
Yeah.
serial killers
And-
that just
but-
go free.
And it's like he was in this asylum for 15 years, so we don't know if he killed people in this asylum.
That's
If he
a
killed
lot
other
that could
doctors,
happen.
a lot could have happened in 15
true.
years. So it's like, and when we get to the remake, you'll see that Rob Zombie gave all of this a backstory, all these 15 years,
Yeah.
which is, we didn't need it. But anyway, going back to this movie. So he's talking, and they arrive at the asylum, and all these patients are outside in the yard, and they're like, aren't they supposed to be outside? And I'm like, no, girl. They're supposed to be inside because one is raining, two is dark as fuck outside. So who will let them out right now? So Loomis gets out the car to find out.
of a thunderstorm.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna let the patients out so they
Yeah.
can play.
They're just chilling.
Have a little.
They need a bath anyways. So fuck it. Let's save some water.
So he gets out to see what's happening. She stays in the car, and she's kind of looking around at this point, and fucking Spider Monkey jumps over the car. I didn't know Michael
Oh,
was that flexible
he's
and that
agile as
agile
fuck.
because he doesn't act this agile in the whole movie. He jumps over the car and like grabs her by the face and like tries. I guess he tries to choke her out or
Yeah,
get her
I
out the
think so.
car,
Yeah.
and he doesn't. So then he goes to the other side of the car and busts through the window, and
Yeah,
that's
he,
when
like
he pushes her
smacks
out.
the
He
window.
just
Yeah.
smacks it. Like,
Yeah, and,
and
like,
it just
shatters.
shatters.
Yo, he can smack my. Let me stop. So he pushes her out the car, takes the car, and this is where Loomis runs and he says the evil is gone.
Yeah,
Which
which
I'm like-
that shot is so well lit too because
Mhm.
it's what did you just say?
I said it's lit.
No, like it just has like really interesting lighting. Like in the car, it has like some green, like yellowish tones, and then like
Yeah.
the blue from the outside looks so nice. But then when Michael takes the car, you have like the blue from the sky on the street, but you also have the red from the
The
backlights.
car, yeah.
It looks so nice. It just I feel like it was just magic.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Movie magic.
So this is when we meet Laurie. She's coming out of her house, and we see that she knows this little kid named Tommy.
Yeah, and it's Halloween day now.
Yes, it's Halloween day. She's going to school, and they're kind of walking together, and they see the Michael Myers house that we see in the beginning scene.
Yeah, because her dad is having her drop the keys off.
Yes.
Yeah, I think her dad's in real estate.
Real
Yeah,
estate.
real estate. He's trying to sell the Myers house.
Yeah, so we see that the house is completely abandoned.
Which
It's been
you're trying to sell this
15 years.
house, and it looks like a fucking
Yeah.
abandoned. Who's gonna buy this?
Yeah, it looks like shit. Like,
Like,
it's terrible.
This is $1.
I mean, some people like fixer uppers.
That's true.
Yeah, but even whatever. It looks so bad on the outside. I would not even look twice at this house if it was for
I
sale.
mean, it was mind-boggling to me that it's been 15 years and the house still hasn't sold because, yes, it was a tragedy, but I mean, there's been worse tragedies that the house sells like that.
Yeah, but like this is again a whole different
Yeah.
time period. Maybe people were more superstitious at this time of,
Maybe.
So
Yeah,
nobody wants to live in a house where like someone got murdered.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people wouldn't, but
But
Yeah.
then
It'd
we
be
have-
kinda cool.
Then we have like Amityville. That's like,
Yeah.
you know what?
like
I think I am.
so this
No, but
is
sorry.
little Tommy is
Yeah.
pretty much saying like, oh, that house is haunted, blah blah. Like he's scared of that house, and Laurie's just kind of like looks at tells him that, oh, I have the keys to it, like it's not that bad, and drops off the keys, and Michael is inside, and we get like this like jump
Yeah.
scare kind of, but like we only see his silhouette,
Mhm.
which I think he's wearing the mask at this point.
He's already wearing the mask, which
Okay.
I have lots to say about that later.
Then she goes back to Tommy, and she's just walking out, like going to school with Tommy, and then Michael jumps into the frame. We see like his silhouette again, and it's like a pretty
It's really
off-putting
long.
shot. Like, yeah, it's like long. It's like a couple seconds long.
It's like half a minute maybe of him just staring at her, and you hear his breathing, and he's trying to tear up to tier 3 and he's stalking her.
And they don't even notice him. So
Yeah.
he came out of that house fast too, because
he flew.
yeah, he legit flew. But it was just, I don't know, really off-putting. I didn't like it. Laurie's in school. She's not paying attention to the teacher because she's a terrible student. And then she looks outside, and Michael's just standing there. Like, you
Yeah.
see a car, and you see just his mask like kind of
Yeah.
floating, and he's just staring at her. And then she looks again, and he's gone. Or the teacher calls her,
Yeah.
and goes like, answer the question. And Laurie's like, oh, to explain something. And then she looks back, and he's gone. Like, the car is gone as well. So
I love this because this reminds me of they redid this scene like in Scary Movie, which is a comedy movie. Sorry, I'm bringing this up, but it just makes me laugh because it's Ghostface outside,
oh
and she looks out, and he shows her the knife, and then I guess she looks down and sees the notes, like, I know what you did last summer. He like, but when you look away, because in this scene you don't see Michael leaving.
yeah,
In
no.
Scary Movie, you see Ghostface like running, like, oh shit. sorry. I saw Scary Movie before this movie, so I always think of that.
Okay, and then this is when we have
Tommy.
This is when we have Tommy leaving school with a big ass pumpkin. That pumpkin's bigger than him, by the way.
Yeah,
It's
huge.
fucking
And
huge.
he's carrying it like it's nothing.
Nothing at all. Then
He looks like he's struggling like a little bit.
He looks
but
like he's struggling just because it's big, but not because it's heavy.
it's probably empty, to be honest.
yeah.
Actually, yeah, it looked empty when he fell over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we have like some bullies that
Yeah.
are like telling him the boogeyman's gonna get you, he's gonna get you, he's gonna get you, and Tommy's just like, ah, like he's had enough of this shit. And then he falls over and squishes the pumpkin.
Yeah, which those bullies were so annoying. They just kept saying the same sentence over and over again.
Yeah.
I hope they die.
Well, I mean,
Sorry.
Michael jumped and grabbed one
Yeah,
of them, which
and-
scared the fuck
Which
out of
I
me.
love that, because wasn't that the one that was saying the boogeyman's gonna get you, or the one that started it?
Yeah, I think that's like
And
the
he-
main
Yeah.
one.
Which is we'll find out is Lonnie, but like he grabs him and Lonnie looks at him like, oh, like, and I think he's like, oh shit, that the boogeyman, like,
Yeah,
Oh, the
he's like,
boogeyman's gonna
"I'm
get me.
yeah, like so like the mask, you know, when you go to like a Halloween store and like each mask has like its own name to it,
Mhm.
do you think in their universe this mask is called the boogeyman?
Yeah, we don't know if he painted this
Maybe.
mask. Like, we
Yeah.
don't know if Michael Myers went on YouTube and put a DIY Halloween mask. Like,
Which
I don't
there-
think he did.
There's a point where a police officer is in front of a hardware store that just got robbed, and he's like, "Oh, he took masks."
Yeah.
But it was like, first of all, he was already wearing a mask, and secondly, like,
Girl, I got
he
lots to
just-
say when we get to that scene.
Okay.
Let me
All right,
tell
we'll
you.
get to
But
that, I
but
guess.
yeah, you're right. So he grabbed this mask from a store, and people like that's what I'm saying. Do you think this is the name of that mask? Like this is the boogeyman in that universe?
The boogeyman was already
It was a thing, but
yeah.
like like in their universe, like
I don't think so. I think it's just like it's just a boogeyman, and then he's the closest thing to it. So
it's just me theorizing stuff.
Then we cut to Loomis, and he's like at a beach area, like a beach scene. I don't know. It's like a middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's it's like a deserty cornfield area, maybe area. You know those west up there, those states where there's nothing. Sorry guys.
Yeah, and then he's like on the phone.
He's calling
and he's like he's coming, like death is coming, pretty much. And then there's like a car that's kind of like broken down, which we don't know if he already knew that was there.
I don't think so. I think he noticed it then.
Like afterwards,
there was bushes around the phone booth.
Yeah, it's just like it was weird that he called and he's like, okay, he's on his way, guys.
Yeah, he calls the Haddonfield Police Department basically.
Yeah. And then he goes to that car that's broken down, and there's like the patient gowns on like
the floor.
Gowns they're on the floor on the car, and he like looks at them and he's like, oh shit, like Michael's coming. And he runs away, and then it like the camera kind of pans to a dead body. So it's assuming that Michael got to him.
Which also at this point I was confused because he picks up a matchbox and it says rabbit in red, and it seems like it's important, but I had no idea what that was from.
If anyone knows what that is reference to, please let us know, because I don't even know what that means. Rabbit in red. The only
thing I could think of is that the nurse in the beginning was smoking, and maybe like it was like her matches.
Oh, you know what? That could be it, because he did take her car, so maybe he dropped those on the floor getting out of the car or something.
That was just the only
and that's
thing I
how
could
he
think
knows
of.
it's him
It's Michael,
that did that. Okay.
Yeah, it could be.
But if that's not the case, let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
And then this is when we get the famous bush scene, because
we meet
Laurie,
the girls now.
Yeah, we see Laurie with her friends Linda and Annie,
which I hate.
Annie's annoying,
fucking annoying.
She's cute though, but she's annoying.
And they're basically talking about boys and getting ready and just random shit. That's whatever.
They're kind of shaming Laurie for being a virgin.
Horrible friends.
Annie's just like, I bet you're having fun. Well, I'm gonna go get laid, and it's like, shut up.
Yeah, throughout the entire movie, they're just horrible friends to her.
They're horrible, and I feel like they're just using her. Maybe Laurie does their homework for them or something. Like
that's what it looks like.
It seems like
I don't believe them being friends with her.
Yeah, no, it does not. Even Linda wasn't even defending her.
Yeah, unless they grew up together and like they don't talk in school, but when they're out of school, they kind of just walk home together since they know each other. And they live close. Maybe. But as friends in school, I don't see it.
Yeah,
like I don't see it.
Yeah, and then this is when we have Michael driving, the controversial scene of Michael driving, and people always complain like, how the fuck did he drive? He was locked up for 15 years. Like,
guys, I have a story. So when I was 15, my dad got super drunk somewhere, and we couldn't get home, so he made me drive, and I had no idea what I was doing. So let's just say that I made it home just fine my first time when my dad was passed out drunk in the passenger seat. And so Michael could drive. It's not that hard, I guess. But I did hit a tree when I got home. But no damage. I was going like 5 miles per hour. I forgot where the brake pedal was. I hit the gas instead.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then that's when my dad woke up and was like, what the fuck? But I was like, we're home.
Oh, fuck.
But he could have just learned.
Yeah, it's one of those things people always complain about, and they're like, how did he learn? And I think in one of the movies
it gets
they
explained in 6 or 5 or 6. It gets explained, which
it would just kind of, I think they would
just to shut. I feel like to shut people up.
This
is how he learned.
They vaguely remember, like, explain it when Loomis is talking to some other guy. I don't know.
He worked at the facility.
Yeah, and he was like, how did you learn to drive? And then Loomis was like, well, obviously somebody taught him.
Yeah.
But that's like their lame excuse,
and I think in the sequels, the guy that I forgot his name too. Sorry guys. That's who taught him how to drive. He's part of a cult. In one timeline, he's part of a cult.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that honestly, I don't think it fucking matters. It's whatever. It's not hard to drive a car.
It
People
doesn't take
always
me
make
out
it
of the
seem
movie.
like he's not driving stick shift either.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
And he's not on a highway. He's in a town going super slow. It's not hard to control a car.
No, it's not.
And I feel like Michael is smart. Michael's not stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, we get to
No.
see that
Yeah,
later. He's
Michael
actually
is
pretty
not-
fucking smart.
He's not Jason. He's not dumb.
Yeah. And
Sorry.
I mean, driving, especially automatic, is made to be self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we see Michael passing by, and you have Annie being like, "Oh, he's so cute." I'm like,
Which
"Bitch,
he is, girl.
yeah, but bitch, he's so far away, and when he passes right next to him, he's in silhouette, so you don't know."
Well, sometimes I look like a guy from afar and I'm like, oh, he cute. And I get closer and sometimes it's an older guy, ugly. And I'm like, oops. And sometimes I'm like, oh, yes, I did hit the jackpot. It happens.
So-
And this time she was right. He was cute.
And then what did she
That's true.
scream to him? She
Speed
said-
kills.
yeah,
oh,
said
she said
kills.
speed kills, and he fucking slaps on the brakes.
Slams on the brakes,
And he-
which maybe he didn't know how brakes work.
That's true. And some new cars have good brakes and sometimes it just happens.
And he stops, and I just wanted Michael to get up and be like, "Bitch, what the fuck did you say?" Huh?
I done that
That's the
once.
only thing he says the whole movie.
So then he drives
He
away.
just drives off,
He
yeah.
just drives off.
Yeah, and she goes, "Can't take a joke."
Yeah, like,
No,
okay.
bitch, because you're not funny and no one likes you. God, I don't
It's
like her,
only
guys.
a joke if it's funny.
Exactly.
Annie. Ugh.
Yeah, Annie's annoying. But then we have the famous bush scene. They keep so Linda leaves.
Yeah,
and
she
it's
got
just
to her
Annie.
house.
Yeah, and then Annie and Laurie are walking, and then you see Michael by a bush,
The
like far away.
Very famous scene, too.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
super popular, and he's just standing there. And Annie, of course, at the second that Michael's standing there, she's looking in her bag, and when Laurie's staring at Michael, he leaves. Like you see him kind of like step
Yeah.
out,
He's
step
like a
into the
fucking
bush.
ghost. Uh-huh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, Annie, did you see him?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like the guy from the car that you yelled at. He's right there. And Annie goes and runs over, and she pretends nobody's there, but she pretends that Michael is there.
Yeah, she's like, "Ooh, Lori, he wants to talk to you."
And did you see Laurie with desperate ass was like, "Oh wait, what?" And she like
Oh,
runs over.
Lord. I mean, Laurie.
Me?
Laurie,
I need a date for the dance.
Right. I mean, depending on what timeline you go to, you either do or don't want to do that, Laurie. But we'll get there.
Laurie's pretty hot in this one, man.
I mean,
She
yeah,
a
but, like-
good- she can get it.
That's her brother.
But like the horror version would say, she can get it.
Yes. We love
She
you, Todd, by
definitely
the
could
way.
Get it. Yeah, yeah. By the way, off track. Just because we say a joke about the horror version doesn't mean that we hate him.
We
Like
love them.
we literally listen to him every night. So
yeah, we're not
it's-
throwing shade. We're just making fun.
Yeah.
But we be throwing shade
Playing
sometimes. That's it.
around.
We
have
love you,
a-
Todd.
Have us in the podcast. Maybe we can talk
Oh
about
my
it.
God, yes, because Mikey can get it. Sorry, I'll stop now.
Paige can get it.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, God. All right, so back to the movie.
So, okay. Then we have Laurie gets jump scared by Annie's dad,
Yeah,
which is the
Officer
cop.
Brackett.
Yeah,
And he's like, it's Halloween. Everyone's entitled for one good scare this time of year. Sorry, I like that line. Go ahead.
yeah. So then it was just kind of like just there. He
Mhm.
walks into her car. We can kind of tell that it's Annie's dad,
Yeah.
and then we cut to Laurie in her house, and she's kind of in her room. She gets like this random call, and it's just like chewing. Well,
Really fucking loud, too.
it's loud, but like I couldn't tell it was chewing until the subtitle said chewing.
Yeah, and then I think like once you read it's chewing, then you hear the chewing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I was like. Oh, okay, that's what
Oh,
it is. But
I
it just
missed the subtitles there.
it literally sounds just like someone chewing. It's just like if you don't have the subtitles, you're not gonna
Yeah.
tell it's
Which-
chewing.
How are you gonna call someone in the middle of a chew? They say hello, and you just stay quiet chewing. Like at least say hello.
Yeah, that's true.
I fucking hate Annie. Because Annie
Is it-
calls
is it
back.
Annie?
Annie, yeah, because she hangs up. Laurie hangs up, and she calls back, and then it's Annie's like, "Why didn't you hang up on me?
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
girl,
That's right.
You chewing?
Yeah.
Like say
You
something."
didn't
Nasty.
say
You
nothing.
nasty. And then she looks outside, and Michael's standing. It's another iconic shot of Michael just standing by her like blankets that she
Mhm.
has hung up, and
Yeah, the
he's just
clothesline.
standing. Yeah, he's just standing there staring at her, which is one of my worst fears. Like I would hate looking outside of a window and someone just staring in. Like, oof, my God, that fucking gives me chills.
Mhm.
And of course, he disappears like immediately because she doesn't leave her eyes.
That's why I think he's supernatural.
Yeah, he like in one shot he's there, she's still staring at him, and then he disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know if Laurie saw him run away. I don't know.
No,
I don't know what it
I
is.
honestly think he's like supernatural, but
Yeah.
come at me if you want to. Go ahead.
So Annie comes and picks up
Laurie.
Laurie
Mm-hmm.
just because they have to go to babysit.
They have to go babysit, and the kids live right across the street from each other. So yeah.
And then it cuts to Loomis.
At the grave,
It's
the
like the
cemetery. Yeah,
the
yeah.
Haddonfield cemetery.
Yeah,
And-
which Judith Myers' grave is gone.
Yes, this is when we notice that it's completely gone. It's just a gravestone, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not her.
The tombstone.
Michael's like, I'm not doing all this.
Yeah, he's like, this shit's already heavy enough. What the
Yeah.
fuck? And it's just like I don't know. I don't get why. I don't know if there's a message to
I
it.
feel like he thought he found one of the girls to look like his sister,
Oh,
and that's why he did what he did later. But if that's not the case, please let me know what the message behind the whole tombstone thing is, please.
Yeah, I didn't really
'Cause
get it.
I don't.
but-
mean-
I don't get why he took it, but
The only thing I got from it was that this is his first time back in 15 years, and it was a sign
Maybe,
to
like,
Loomis.
giving a message?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
he was
could be.
there.
I'm coming back for your throat, Loomis.
yeah. I mean, they say the sequels get him. Never mind. We're
So
in this movie.
stop talking about the sequels.
I'm so sorry.
Lori and Annie are driving,
and they're blazing it, y'all.
They
Oh, they
420
are.
blazing it.
Wait,
But
it's,
Lori,
it's 10:31. It's not 4:20.
what?
It's October 31st.
I was like, wait, what?
Jesus.
And then Lori is a lightweight, like takes one puff and she is coughing like crazy.
Don't make fun of her.
She's not. She doesn't even
She's
take a full.
baby.
Right.
Yes, whatever.
She's innocent.
She's with horrible people. She's hanging out with horrible people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Annie
bad
over here,
influence,
super.
Annie.
Do
Not
not
saying that if
smoke
you-
weed.
I mean, if you do, I don't care. I'm just
Yeah.
saying her friends are just assholes. So this is when they're driving up to like the hardware store, and Annie's like, "Oh my god, it's my dad!" And the worst acting I've ever heard in my life. Sorry.
Mhm.
And they're trying to put out the weed, which. Okay, so they get to the hardware store, they pull down the windows, and I will swear to God, if that weed smell was not gone,
No.
the fact that the dad didn't say nothing amuses me. And the fact that the alarm for the hardware store is still on, mind you, Michael's had that mask on all fucking morning.
That's
They went to school, they got
true.
out of school, he had the mask on. How is the alarm for the hardware store still on?
So what I got from that was that he had just robbed it. So I guess you're right. It could have just been
But
earlier.
they say he took the mask, so it's
Yeah.
been since morning that the alarm is
That's
still on. Like,
true.
why?
Yeah.
That's true.
But anyways,
Okay.
So, but
My
we
mind
can.
was just blown.
it's like, the fuck?
Michael is really fast, so you don't know what he's doing behind the scenes.
Like,
So, this is when we notice that Michael's following Annie and Lori.
yes,
He's
and I love
driving right behind them.
Yeah,
So I wonder, going back to the hardware
yeah.
store, I wonder if like the alarm didn't go off, and when the owner got there and saw it, that's when he turned on the alarm. Does that make sense?
but I feel like the door was
like that's
broken.
how that's
The
how he.
front door
Yeah, the front door was
was
Well, the-
smashed in, and I feel like the alarm would go off.
But did they have alarms like that in the 70s?
I
I'm
don't know.
assuming.
Yeah,
I
probably.
don't know. Anyways.
I don't
Let me know if you're from the 70s.
Any old people? Any boomers?
Hey, don't offend our listeners.
Our listeners are sexy
So, yeah,
people.
but
Okay,
Loomis-
so-
Loomis does show up, and he's telling the officer to basically get his people, or that Michael's in town, yada yada yada.
yeah, and then literally Michael's right behind them,
And
like
just
driving
passes
away.
like it's nothing, and Loomis doesn't even notice him. And okay, another thing that I'm gonna start ranting about. So
Is it
earlier,
about the sequels?
No,
Okay.
but
Okay, then you
earlier
can go.
Tommy meets up with Lori in the morning after she came out of her house. Tommy's running and meets up with her. Annie and Lori took 4 hours to get to Tommy's house. Like, how far does this boy live, and why was he running 6 hours in the morning?
Well, they were also smoking, so they're probably like, let's just drive around and smoke.
Yeah.
Because I used to do that with my friends. Like I used to just drive around
mean,
and smoke. And
I guess, but I guess they just made it seem like Tommy lives on the in like 2 cities away.
yeah, no, I think it was. It's true. It is like super bright, like
And then it's
day,
dark, and then it's
and then
night
it
when they
gets
get
night.
there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, where the fuck were they?
And like
Yeah.
I said earlier,
They
you
couldn't
can
get.
kind of tell that this story was written in 10 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like they couldn't just stop and get dick right there. They had to do it later. Like they couldn't do it right there and there and get it out of the way now.
No, because it's a cliche to get it while you're babysitting.
Well, this movie started that cliche.
Really?
Yeah.
This is
Oh.
what started it all.
I
This
thought
is
it
like the
was just
first
already-
slasher movie, right?
Yeah, there's arguments, which
Well,
there's psycho, and then the whole Texas did come first. So there's always the debate of between Texas or this one.
Yeah,
But I
it's
feel like
weird.
this one is what actually gave the name slasher.
Yeah.
I don't find Leatherface as a slasher.
No, because I feel like the
'Cause-
horror is more than just Leatherface.
Yes, I feel like this is more like slashers because if I offend you, I'm sorry. Jason is a copycat of Michael in a way.
Yeah.
And then came Freddy,
Mhm.
who was
If
the
we
first
offend
one
you,
talking.
Let's argue about it.
No. Just my opinion. And then from Freddy talking, I feel like that's why we got Chucky, a
Yeah.
talking doll. It's like they
It's
came
like-
right after the other.
Yeah, but Michael's pretty much kind of like what started it.
The whole cliches with the sex and the everything else,
Yeah.
dropping knives and
Because
final
it's
girls.
just the first one. Because even the later ones, it's not like that.
No,
Because they're more like, straightforward.
Yeah.
Jason was the one that was like literally, you have sex, you were dying.
Yeah,
like you
yeah,
would
yeah.
die in the process of having sex.
Yeah.
Like,
But
that's-
even in the sequels to Halloween, anyone that was getting dick down died.
yeah,
It wasn't as like X-rated as Jason's movies, but yeah.
okay.
Mm.
But yeah, this is pretty much the grandfather
beginning.
of the
And but yeah,
slashers.
there's debates with Sally being the first final girl, Laurie. I mean, I'm not gonna get into it. To me, it was Halloween, but you know, if you have your opinion, you have your opinion. I'll respect you.
I mean,
People like Leatherface. I don't.
yeah.
People like Michael. Some people I like Michael. Some people don't.
So that was a little tangent. Let's
Sorry.
get back to the movie.
So Lori is venting to Annie because she said that she's not gonna get dick down.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like I just want to date for the dance, but she's too shy.
And people
And-
don't like me because I'm smart.
And it's like, and then Annie's like, man.
No, it's like, well, maybe if you had a personality.
Fuck.
Um,
Jesus Christ.
She has a personality. Maybe if Annie wasn't such a bitch.
Yeah.
Oh God. Go ahead.
So they get to the house
Mhm.
that they're gonna go babysit,
Yeah.
and they're kind of like across the street from each other. Annie's gonna go babysit this girl named Lindsay, and then Lori's gonna babysit Tommy.
Yeah. Future
And
Paul
they're-
Rudd. Mm.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Which Tommy looks just like Seth Green, the guy that made like Robot Chicken. I
Yeah,
don't know.
with a helmet haircut.
Yeah, he was like younger Richie from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
It movie. But he looks just like him. It's really weird. And well, they pretty much just separate, and then we have Michael Myers
Stalking
stalking
Annie.
Annie,
Mhm.
and then she's like going around the house, just looking at her. I don't know, just really creepy.
I wonder if he picked her first because either one, she tried to call him out on the speed, killing him, or two, she reminds him of Judith.
Of Judith, maybe. Yeah, it could
Maybe.
be a strategy. It's because she's not the main character.
And she's a fucking. Sorry.
Michael Myers is aware that he's in a movie.
But yeah, we cut to Loomis and Brackett now at the Myers house. Guys, I wrote horse on my notes. I don't know why.
The Myers horse.
The Myers
That's how-
horse.
That's how he gets to places so fast.
And they get into the house and they find a dead dog. And I think they're assuming, was it a dog or a raccoon? They find something dead.
I think it was. I don't know. It was just a bit.
Oh.
I think.
I
thought it
feel
was
like
a
Brackett
rodent.
said dog. Okay. They find a dead animal and they assume that Michael ate it.
Ew.
Or yeah.
Ooh.
And I feel like in the sequels he ends up eating animals. But anyways, they assume that.
Stop talking about the
I'm
sequels.
so sorry. So they go up the stairs and Loomis is basically showing Brackett where the crime scene was
Mhm. Oh yeah.
and telling him what happened. And then someone throws a rock out a window and it
No, I
scares
think
Loomis.
it's like a little like light thingy.
Oh,
It
is that-
scared
okay.
me too.
Okay, I always thought it was a rock. So a light fixture, like I guess, falls and hits the window and it breaks.
Yeah, and Loomis
Scaring Loomis.
immediately
Pulls
takes
out a gun. Like, he ready for Michael.
You're about to put some bullets
Um,
onto something.
Which I'm surprised for a doctor. He has a gun.
Well, that's the thing. The cop looks at him and he's just like, "I have a permit."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you work with Michael Myers.
Yeah,
You need
I think
one.
you need a gun.
Um.
So at this point, Loomis describes Michael Myers, and he describes him as emotionless face, black eyes, devil's eyes, purely evil. And he just kind of keeps explaining it to the cop in different ways, like the same thing but in different words.
And the cop doesn't believe him.
No, but it's
No.
funny because Loomis saw like he has the palest face, the blackest eyes,
Yeah.
purely simply evil, and the cop's like, fancy words.
Like the way he said it kind of reminded me of Disney, like dramatically.
Yeah, he's so and that's my thing. It throws me off because Loomis is so dramatic about everything.
I
And
love
he's just
Donald
like,
Pleasance in these
yeah,
movies.
he's great. It's just like it always throws me off because I'm like nobody talks like that. But like I understand, like Michael's like he's so interested in Michael.
Yeah.
So.
And he wants Michael dead because he
Yeah.
knows that Michael's a fucking machine.
Yeah, it's almost like he romanticizes Michael to the point where it's like he's this being.
Yeah.
So he decides to stay and wait for Michael to come to the house.
Yes, that's what
Loomis
they're
does,
doing, yeah.
And the officer goes out to make sure that nothing's happening anywhere else in the town. And this is when we cut back to Laurie and Tommy. And she's babysitting him and
Yes.
telling him a story of some sort.
Yeah, and Tommy is like, "Oh, this is boring. What's the boogeyman?"
Is this when we can tell that they're watching The Thing?
No, not yet. She's just reading to him, and
Oh yes, that's right.
and he pulls out his comic books, and she's saying the
Oh,
comics, and
she's
they're like weird
Tarantula
comics.
Man,
Yeah.
and blah 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 man, and then he's like, "So what's the boogeyman?"
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, this is why you have nightmares because of these or something like that." And this is
like,
when
no, it's because of the boogeyman.
and the phone rings, and it's fucking Annie, and she's being a bitch. Sorry, she's really not. No, she kind of is.
Oh yeah, because she's like, "Are you having fun?" Oh, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, like very fucking
I'm sure
sarcastic.
you
I
are.
I want to fight her. Not really. Sorry.
Yeah, and then the dog comes in and she's just like, "Leslie, come get the dog."
Oh,
and
yeah.
Leslie's just at the TV like,
Lindsay, baby.
Lindsay?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was Leslie.
Lindsay.
No, Lindsay.
Oh, my
But yeah,
bad.
she's calling for Lindsay, like really fucking high pitched and annoying. And I'm like, you can't tell the dog. I feel like Lindsay was ignoring her on purpose.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I
for
feel like
sure.
Lindsay,
That's
like, this-
something you would do.
Oh yeah, like Lindsay's
this
like, this
bitch.
girl is so annoying. Like, why did my parents hire her? And the dog's barking, but the dog's barking because he knows Michael's outside. He's
Yeah.
trying to warn
He's, like,
her.
staring
and
at the
she's being like,
window.
Is a German Shepherd and he's so cute.
So Annie is useless. She's trying to get Laurie with Ben, and she tells that Ben basically, she called Ben and told Ben that he'll go out with Laurie for homecoming.
No, something like that.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know. Oh yeah, she supposedly talked to Ben to get her. She's like, "Oh, I told him that you like him, and he got so excited, and Laurie's so embarrassed about it." And
Laurie will not shut up about it in the background.
he's like, "Oh my god,
I can't believe you did that.
I can't believe it." And then we can tell that Annie, I guess, spills butter on herself.
Yeah, because she's making popcorn, and I guess she spills butter on herself, and like she
starts getting naked, like
Yeah.
in the kitchen, just
Just
fucking
completely
butt-ass
butt-ass.
naked.
And
Like
puts
she has
on
her
a-
underwear, but
Yeah. And she puts on a random shirt, and it looks like it's probably Lindsay's dad's shirt. Because it's
Yeah.
like a man's shirt, I guess.
which
I feel like if the wife got home after that, one, why are you wearing my husband's shirt? Two,
Yo.
why are you wearing my husband's shirt? And then three,
Oh.
at the husband, why is she wearing your shirt? Like-
then some cat fighters gonna happen.
like, are y'all having a thing? But I mean,
Yeah.
she could say that she spilled butter, and they probably would understand. It's the 70s. Not cheaters didn't exist
That's
back then.
true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Okay, so then Lester sneaks up on
Michael.
Michael.
You good?
I've mixed Michael and Myers.
It's just
Miles.
your dyslexia is kicking in really hard.
Okay, so
Oh, but I think before he oh my god, now you got me saying it. I feel like before the dog sneaks up on him, this is when Tommy sees him outside,
oh yes,
and
that's
he
right.
tries to tell Laurie, and Laurie doesn't believe
Yeah, and
him.
Laurie's like, "There's nothing there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, because he's just staring. Yeah, he's just staring at the house.
yeah.
Then so
There's a lot
Lester.
going on here. Yeah.
Lester is the dog's name,
Mhm,
and the
and-
dog is just like sneaks up. Like literally, we don't hear him until he's right on.
It's-
You hear a little bit
Doggy
of
Myers.
growling.
doggy bars. Michael's getting stalked now. And
the whole time I'm like, yay, he's such a good boy.
But Michael grabs his ass and chokes him out and dies.
Guys,
that's
that's
really
the only,
sad.
yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about Michael.
Yeah, they don't show him like actually grabbing the dog. You just see like the dog's legs kind of go limp.
Yeah.
And
Which
it's
at this
sad.
point, Annie, fucking bitch, is like, Lester's getting on my nerves again. Is it Leslie?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
And Lindsay, come get him. And then that's when Lester goes quiet because Michael kills him.
Yeah, he goes.
And then Annie's like, never mind. Must have found a date or something.
I fucking hate her.
And I was like, you
Oh,
fucking
and I think
bitch.
after this is when she gets the butter on her.
Is it? I thought she
No,
already.
she had
She
already
had it
butter.
already.
Yeah.
This scene so much. It's so like back and forth with Michael and outside. It's because I know he makes noise at one point and she looks outside, and he like disappears because he drops like a plant
Yeah, because I have.
hanging.
I have Annie just gets naked in the room and then it says
Okay.
Lester died.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is
then-
when we know that they're watching the the
So
original Thing movie.
Yes,
Yes.
which fun fact, John Carpenter will go on to remake
Make the
it.
remake.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, which is cool.
And Tommy's still asking about the damn boogeyman, and
Wait, no, there's such a good line here
What?
because is his name Tommy? Tommy's
Yeah.
like, I saw the boogeyman, and Laurie's like, what did he look like? And Tommy says, the boogeyman.
Oh my god.
but she basically
He
tells
looks like
him,
Captain Kirk.
But white.
But she tells him that there is no boogeyman, or that the boogeyman only comes on Halloween, and that he has nothing to worry about because she's there to protect them.
Mhm.
Which I love this because it's like this is what she actually does. Like she actually doesn't leave them at all later
Yeah.
on, and she actually does protect the kids.
Yes.
So they get up and they're like, let's go make jack-o'-lanterns. So they go and make their jack-o'-lanterns. And this is when we get Annie going to wash her clothes. Michael's still stalking her.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks it's Paul.
Yeah. What?
Oh,
Why'd you
wait.
say it like that?
I don't know. Okay, because she goes into the laundry room, which, by the way, she only had like a shirt in her pants, and she puts on detergent like she has a heavy load
Oh
of
my
clothes.
gosh, she put like half of the box.
Like that whole laundry room's gonna be full of soap later. But she hears something and she thinks it's Paul, but
Which
it's
Paul
Michael.
is the guy that's supposed to be coming over to
Yes,
get
that's
freaky dicky.
get freaking dicky with her.
And
I
then this
can't
is when
say
we
it.
have the really creepy scene where Michael is just standing like right outside the door, and like the door like opens slightly,
Mhm.
and you can kind of see him, and oh, that shit freaked me out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
like
was
oh
scary.
fuck.
I love how she gets in the laundry room. She gets stuck at the window because she gets stuck in the laundry room.
Yeah,
Because I think
Michael
Michael closes
locks.
the door and locks
Yeah.
her in,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and she can't get out. She's calling for Lindsay, and Lindsay just ignoring her. And she tries to get out through the window, and she gets stuck. Which I'm like, yes, girl, you deserve all of this.
But it's
for
like
being a
her butt
bitch.
is just in the
Yeah.
air, and like she doesn't get stuck like on the window. Her
wait.
foot gets stuck.
What butt?
Ow.
Burn.
Little booties matter, okay?
Yes, they do because I have one.
But
So-
it's like her foot gets stuck like on the little rack
Some-
that's there.
Something. It's really dumb. Michael should have just sliced the neck right there.
Yeah.
But here we get Paul calling. So Lindsay actually gets up and answers the phone.
Mhm.
She goes to get Annie.
Wait, you can't skip over that part.
Why?
Because Lindsay is like, hello. And Paul's like, hey, can you get Annie for me? And she goes, she's cleaning her clothes. And Paul goes, well, just go get her. And she goes, okay, and hangs up on him.
That is true. So he calls. She gets Annie out of the laundry room, and Annie being annoying again. I just hate Annie, y'all. I just want to get over her. So Paul is talking. She goes back. He calls right away, which is he calls magically, and he knew she was in the kitchen, and they're talking about getting freaking and she's like, "Oh, I know what I'm gonna do to you tonight." Blah blah blah. And
Yeah, I'm gonna pump 3 times.
oh lord.
One more than last time, baby.
And Michael's behind her, and like I don't think I've ever noticed it until today that he was behind her.
We all kind of jumped. We're like, oh, he's right behind her.
yeah, which
Yeah.
I love that. Like he's
It's always like in the
Love him.
background. Like it's really
Yeah.
good. It's really good.
and so she hangs up the phone, and she tells Lindsay basically like, let's go to. You want to go to Tommy's house? Because Lindsay didn't want to go with her to pick up Paul. She was gonna
Yeah.
take
Oh,
Lindsay
yeah.
with her.
Lindsay was gonna go, and she's like, "No, I don't want to."
Yeah, but
I
she
wanna watch this
basically
movie.
yeah, and she like bribes Lindsay with a boy to go to Tom, which I'm like, she's a little girl.
But she immediately is like, "You said you want to see Tommy," and she's like, "Okay."
Yeah, like
Let's
that was
go.
okay with her. So she goes over to Laurie and she's like, "Oh, can you watch her?" And I'll probably maybe tell Ben that never mind for the homecoming because Laurie doesn't really want to go with him now
Yeah.
because she's just
She's just
nervous.
embarrassed,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's just embarrassed and nervous.
I mean, she had like her friend called her. Like that's such a fucked up move.
I mean,
like
that's high school.
I never
Yeah.
did that in high school. I'm not
I
like
mean,
I'm gonna
you're
tell
not
this
an
person.
asshole.
I guess.
Okay, one time I tried to tell a girl that I liked her and I started shaking and she was like, "Why are you shaking?" And I was just super nervous. But this
Wait,
was
you
Wait,
told
you told a
you
girl?
what?
this was before my gayness.
Oh,
Ooh.
Carlos' gay origins.
Yeah,
Ooh, wait,
I was
when
a-
was this?
in ninth grade. I was already gay. I was just trying to,
You were like in the closet.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so did you actually like her?
I did, but then I came out as bisexual, and then but it's a long story. But
Okay.
I was never bisexual, really.
Okay.
But I always been gay. So Annie basically goes to her car, and it's in the. It looks like they have like a back garage of the house. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a really long driveway
Mhm.
behind the house, and she doesn't have the key, so she goes back, comes back, gets in the car, and she notices that the glass is like
It's like like there's a lot of humiliation. Wow. There's a lot of humility.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
humidity.
Humidity.
There you go.
And it's like, and she kind of like notices it because it
Yeah.
wasn't there at first, and she's like kind of looking around, like kind of tries to wipe it off, and Michael comes out. Wah!
And this is when Sydney screams.
Sydney fucking screamed. And
He's
chokes her out,
he's
right?
choking her, and she's like, and like she sounds like she moaning.
she a
She
little
don't sound like
sexual
she's
about
getting.
it.
Yeah, she likes it.
At one point, I thought she was gonna turn around and be
Yeah.
like,
But
"Harder,
her
daddy."
the faces she's making.
the stupidest faces.
Yeah, like her eyes are all like, oh. And then Michael finishes her off with a neck slice
Well, finishes her off in more than one way.
Got him.
with his knife,
Well,
his big knife.
oh, I didn't get that the first time.
And then and then she falls on the steering wheel, and it's
It
like the
starts
horn.
honking.
Mhm.
Yeah, the car like is like honking for a long time.
Yeah, so then we cut back to the kids and they're watching the movie, assuming the thing or whatever. And Tommy's like, "Ooh, let me scare Lindsay." So he gets off from the couch and tries to scare Lindsay. Goes behind the blankets like he think he Ghostface, but Ghostface don't exist, so we don't know that. And he looks out the window and he sees the boogeyman
Yeah.
taking Annie inside,
Yes.
and he starts freaking the fuck
He's like,
out.
"Oh fuck."
And Laurie's like, "There's nothing." Every time Laurie comes, he gone.
Yeah.
Like Michael's
Every
gone.
time.
And I love how here, like, Tommy's the one scared, and Laurie's like, "Stop, stop, like, whatever." I forgot what she said.
Yeah, and she's like, he says, nobody ever believes me.
yeah.
And then they just go back to watching the movie.
Yeah.
Like, nothing
And-
happened.
This is when we have now the 3 kids that go to the
Oh,
Myers
the
house.
bullies from earlier.
Yeah, the bullies from earlier go to the Myers house, and I don't
Mhm.
know what they
'Cause
were
I
like.
think-
Go in.
I feel like
They
the
were-
town has this like thing where like the house is cursed or
Right.
haunted, so don't go in there. And I think
Yeah.
they do a thing where like if you go in there, you're brave or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
so-
like daring each
It's
other
like a
to go up
legend,
to
and
the
that house is a
But-
legend.
This is definitely like the best quote of the movie, where so they have Dr. Loomis is in the corner, like in the bush where Michael was standing, I guess. And
Well, he's sitting there because he's waiting for Michael to get there.
yeah, so
'Cause he
he's
thinks
just
gonna
waiting.
come back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then you have these 3 kids like fucking ruining his plan and then just going into the house, and Dr. Loomis goes, "Hey Lonnie, get your ass out of there."
And the kids are like, "Huh?"
What
And
the
they-
fuck?
and they start running.
They start
Yeah.
running because I guess they think it's haunted.
It's so funny.
And oh my gosh, Loomis's face after that is hilarious.
Yeah, he looks so pleased with himself. Like I just wanted to give him a hug. Like you did such a good job.
Yeah. He's
so-
like that uncle that pranks his kid that he's just
Yeah.
like, "Yep."
That's gonna be me. So the officer shows up and like kind of scares him from behind, and the officer basically done. There's nothing going on in the town. Everything's safe. And Loomis is like, no. He's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
You just don't know. And we cut back to
So
Laurie.
this is when Bob and I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Linda and her boyfriend
Bob
Bob
show up.
arrive, and this is when we meet Bob,
Mhm.
and he's just, I don't know, they're just kind of really horny, and they're just like,
it's kinda
oh,
hot.
let's go fuck, and she's like, okay, they go to Annie's house, like
Yeah,
where
but
Annie's staying.
Before they go into the house, he makes this really weird
Yeah.
pedophilic comment.
He
Like it was
goes-
a joke, but it was like
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
not cool.
pretty much they're like, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna go to the first room on the left on the second floor, and you're gonna and he says, I'm gonna rip your clothes off, and then you're gonna rip my clothes off, and then we'll rip Lindsay's clothes off, which
Yeah, 'cause-
fucking came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
point is that Lindsay's supposed to be asleep for them to be able to sneak up to the room or something.
Yeah.
So that's why, yeah, which.
And it was just like,
I
oh,
was
maybe you
like,
needed one more
what?
day of writing the script.
Yeah, that in today's that line of the movie would have just been a 1%.
Canceled.
Yeah, cancel that for just that one line.
That scene was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I was thrown off by that.
Yeah.
But they
we were all
go-
like, whoa.
yeah. So Annie and Bob go into the house and they start to get freaky dicky on the couch.
Mhm.
And then I guess they dry hump enough. So then she decides to call Laurie. And
he finishes.
yeah, I probably. And the guys in these movies just finish too quick.
Too quick.
So she calls Laurie to ask where Annie is, and Laurie tells Linda that Annie went to go get Paul,
Mhm.
and that Lindsay's staying with her.
Yeah.
So Linda is like, "Ooh, so that means I can get dick down, no worries." And
They get super excited.
yeah, basically. So yeah, so then she hangs up and it's like, "Bob, it's the time."
And he's
And
just like,
Yep, and they run down they run up the stairs like, dun, 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 you know, very very slow.
I was like,
Yeah.
what are you
I don't know.
singing?
But
So they go upstairs and then they're
start
fucking.
Yeah,
But
naked.
literally, I mean, we saw them in the middle in the process of it, I guess.
70s sex was just weird looking.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of looked like they were kind of, I don't know, like
They were kind of just like
laying.
sliding up and down each other like sharks
Yeah.
in
Not
the water.
even, but not even like that. It
Like
was
not
weird.
thrusting.
You know what he looked? I know what he was doing. Actually, I know what he was doing
Oh,
because
yeah?
the
What
way
he
he
was
was moving,
Yeah.
he was doing the helicopter on her.
Ew.
Yeah, because he was going like in circles.
He wasn't going in circles. He wasn't even moving.
It was
No,
it
he
was
was-
it was some
he
circles.
was kind of just like marinating in there.
Yeah, but
Marinating.
he was doing the slow helicopter, like like low level, and then he was going to get higher and higher. But then he came.
Oh shit.
So he gives her some kids, and they
He
start
gives her
smoking.
some kids.
He came in her.
Yeah, he
Oh.
definitely came inside her.
Oh my god, he did.
and you know they didn't believe in condom back then. So.
But this is when which
But-
okay, she is a bad bitch because he finishes, just lays down, and that's it.
Yeah.
He was done, and he
They
wasn't even
start
talking to
smoking.
her.
Mhm.
Okay, but she acts like it's the most fantastic sex she's ever had.
Yeah,
Which it was like,
I
okay.
feel it's
Dang.
because it was their first. This was their first time for
Oh,
both of
really?
them. I feel like that's why.
it's just not like that at all.
Yeah,
like I'm sorry,
no.
but
It's not.
no, this is a bad bitch move because he lays like he's just laying next to her, doesn't say anything.
Mhm.
He's just kind of like ignoring her. She says, "Go to the kitchen and get me a beer."
Yeah.
And he looks at her and goes, "I thought you were gonna get me a beer."
ooh.
And she looks at him and goes, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get you a beer." And I'm like, "Yes, exactly.
Go,
Show
girl.
him your dick. Like that's how you do it." And he goes down there, and that was his worst mistake.
Well, he says, "I'll be right back," which you never say.
No,
That's
and he's also like, don't put your clothes on.
yeah. Like
But
we're gonna fuck for another 3 pumps, girl.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give you a whole another kindergarten up in there. So yeah, he goes downstairs. He gets a beard, and he notices that the door and the back door is open.
Yes.
It creaks open.
Mhm.
So he goes to check, and this is when Michael just pops out of nowhere and starts choking him against like I'm gonna say the pantry doors because it
Yeah.
looked like it was the pantry door.
And then just lifts him like
Yeah.
up all the way. It was kind of I was like, Michael had got that
and he
strength though.
stabs him, and he just hanging there with the knife. And I love that Michael's doing the puppy thing and like tilting his head and just
Yeah,
like
he's like
admiring
Mhm.
what he
Yeah,
just
admiring
did.
his work. But also,
Do that to me, Daddy. Go ahead.
Bob, that's who got stabbed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Bob just kind of stays like flat against the wall, and I feel like he would have like slumped forward a little bit because the knife is all the way down in his abdomen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think realistically he would have stayed up.
Yeah.
Like, no matter.
Right?
Your body's heavier than the fucking
But
knife.
that knife is so long.
Yeah.
Like I seen it in person, y'all.
Yeah, that's...
Oh.
Yeah. You saw Michael's knife?
No comment.
No, but he pretty much gets, like, stuck on the wall. Like,
Yeah,
he's just,
yeah.
like, up.
You know what I think it is? I think since it is a door to a pantry, or maybe the door is probably thin, like thin wood. You know what I mean? Like a cabinet door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the knife is probably like went through that too. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that shit is cool
That's
as
one of the
fuck.
things
It
that
is
people
very
always
cool.
wonder, but who cares?
Yeah,
He
it
did
doesn't matter.
It looks cool.
Yeah.
He admired his work. We move on.
Yes.
And he turns into a ghost after this. He dies and turns into a
Oh
ghost.
my god, which I love. So
I
pretty
love
much,
that he plays with them. Like he kind of plays with some of them.
yeah, which people always had that thing was like Michael would never, because I'm talking about a sequel now. Oh my gosh, Carlos, what are you doing to me? But in the later sequels, he like cuts a guy's face to look like a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
and people are always like, oh, that's so silly, he would never do that. And then I remember people in the comments just posting him dressed up as a ghost.
Yeah.
And it's like,
he
he
obviously
does.
has some sort of sense of humor.
He has some,
Exactly.
and I feel like he stays a kid deep down.
That's true.
Like I don't feel like
That's
he.
true. He
It's a
never
good
grew
point.
up.
He was in an asylum this whole time, so he kind of just his mental state stayed the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But just so we can update the viewers, he goes upstairs, but
Yeah.
he has one like just like a blanket. I'm sorry, a blank,
A white blanket.
A white sheet.
a white sheet on him, and he has the Bob's glasses like where the eyes should be, and they're like cut up, so he looks like one of those like Charlie Brown ghosts and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So Linda thinks it's Bob, and she's just like, oh. What are you doing? And she's just all like showing him the titties and stuff.
Yeah.
And Michael's just standing in the doorway, not saying anything.
And she's demanding her fucking beard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, where the fuck is my beer?
She like finds it amusing at first, but then
She
like
gets annoyed.
slowly starts getting creeped out, I think.
I think she just gets annoyed.
No, she gets annoyed and she's like, I'm just
Oh.
gonna call Laurie, and
because this is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, you just got fucked. Like,
What else do you want?
I mean, a little longer. That's what she wants.
got him.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and then she calls Laurie, and this is when Michael grabs the phone line
Yeah.
and starts choking her out.
And again, sounds like she's doing something.
And Laurie picks up, poor Laurie, man.
Yeah.
She picks up the phone, and all she hears,
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And she thinks it's Annie. She doesn't know it's Linda.
no.
Yeah.
And he's like, why'd you call me? First I get your random chewing, and now I get your moaning or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Which she thinks it's Annie because Annie was supposed to call her back to tell her, like, to update her about Lindsay.
Yeah. To when to put her to bed.
Yeah.
And she basically, this is when she basically dies, and Laurie hears this, and then I feel like Laurie starts to like find it weird, so she looks out to the house and like to see if I guess lights are on or whatever. So then here we have Laurie going up the stairs. She looks at the kids and says to them, they're sleeping, and she says, "Happy Halloween."
She tells them that they're sleeping.
Well, no, she goes upstairs and they're sleeping.
kidding.
Okay. And she says, "Happy Halloween." We cut to Loomis, and Loomis notices the nurse car after 5 hours of sitting in front of Michael's
Yeah.
house. He finally notices the fucking car, and he starts to walk down the street.
Well, it's plot because, if he noticed it earlier, then
Yeah.
those other three wouldn't die.
I guess. So we cut back, and now Laurie walks over to Annie's house. And this scene, her walking takes like 5 minutes or more. Like it's very slow and like building to like what's the fuck is gonna happen.
Yeah.
She
Very
gets to the house. No, what were you gonna say, baby? What?
Very suspenseful.
Oh yeah, very suspenseful.
Yeah.
Very suspenseful. So she gets to the house, knocks on the door, rings the bell, calling them. No one answers. She walks down over to the back of the house. She walks in through the back door.
Oh, I like this.
Right?
ASMR. Michael Halloween as ASMR.
She
Continue.
walks in the house and she's calling for Bob, Linda, Annie. No one answers.
Nobody.
She goes up the stairs. She goes into the room, and as she opens the door, she sees Judith Meyer's tombstone over Annie's body. Laurie starts to cry,
Oh my god.
backs up, And this is when Bob like fucking falls from out of nowhere, and Sydney screams
I
so
screamed
loud.
so loud.
And Frankie's upstairs sleeping, and I'm like, I hope this boy did not
I
wake up
felt
to that.
so bad.
No,
Yo,
you're
she
good, though.
like let this like scream like
Yeah.
like she was dying, like she legit was dying,
Yeah.
like she was Laurie right there and then.
And she also opens like a closet door, and Annie's in there dead. And then she goes out into the hallway as she's crying. And then behind her, a shadow starts to appear, and it's Michael's face, the shape. And he
That was
stabs
so
at her.
creepy.
It was,
Yeah.
and such a great scene.
And it's so slow too. So at first you're like, is it? No. Wait.
Mhm.
Oh
And
my
it's
God, it
just
is.
the
Yeah.
face. It's not
Yeah.
the
Not the
uniform.
body, nothing. It's literally just like a
Like,
part of his mask.
He's literally like a shape. He's a ghost, and
Mhm.
he takes a stab at her, misses, cuts her arm.
Which
He misses
this
her
is
a
a
lot.
lot. Like she's just standing there and literally just completely misses and
Which-
rips a little bit of her clothes.
Yeah, so I was thinking that he did it on purpose just to scare her because he wants some like playtime.
Action.
Maybe, and this because she falls over the railing. The way I feel like in any other movie, if someone would have fell over the railing over those stairs that are like
Mhm.
wood floor, they would have broken their neck and died.
Oh yeah.
Any
Yeah,
other
she falls
movie?
like on her side, which you're
She
Yeah,
does
but-
hurt her leg.
Yeah, she does, and he scratches her arm with a knife, basically, like rips her shirt and like cuts her. And this is when the fucking music just starts, and it's
This-
like, yeah, the denim, yeah, and like he's going down the stairs, she's running. She's so lucky that she's not in 2020 and the floor plans for houses aren't open floor plans because the kitchen has a door, so she locks it. And she's trying to get out of the back door, but he locked her in. Like he blocked the back door, so she's trying to
this
get
is
out.
when you can tell that Michael is a little smart. Like
he's
he
smart
knew
as
that
fuck.
she was gonna go to that door, locks it. Like she is almost like stuck in the house with
Mhm.
him.
Mhm.
Like, and I was like, wow. Like I forgot that he was actually like capable of all this. I thought he was just
Yeah.
like
Yep.
he just
Like-
acted in the moment.
Definitely like a meditative killer, not
Yeah.
just.
Yeah. And he tries to break through the kitchen door. He punches through it, opens the door, and then comes out. He's like, "Here's Michael," and
Mhm.
she's screaming.
Which people say that Rob Zombie made Michael into a tank. He's a tank in this movie. Like
Yeah.
he
Oh.
punches through that door like it's nothing, and then
Mhm.
just opens the door. I was like hyperventilating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
feel
like,
like
holy
when-
shit.
With Rob Zombies, he just looks
He's like
taller.
He's like fucking huge
Yeah.
in that movie. He's fucking like a
and
monster.
he
It's
looks more
crazy.
muscular here. He's tall, but he's skinny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a normal.
He's a normal
guy.
person.
Yeah,
It
but-
looks like a normal person.
We'll get into it after the movie. So she breaks the glass and gets out herself, and she's running and she's screaming for help, and no one's helping her. And she goes to a neighbor's house too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the neighbor turns on the light, looks through the window, and
Mhm.
she's like screaming, "Help me, help me!" And they just turn off the light,
But
close the
question:
blinds.
would you?
honestly, in today's
I
time,
don't
probably
know.
not.
Yeah.
And
I
I
would
feel
definitely
like
call the police though.
Yeah. Like, hey, there's some
Yeah.
fucking girl
yeah, I would have
screaming
called
her head
someone
off.
screaming. Yeah, because this kind of reminded me like these movies didn't exist, but like The Strangers. You know, if you open the
Yeah.
door, they come and get you. And I feel like maybe we'll theorize, and maybe the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like a thing in this universe, and like they seen the movie and
I
they're like,
haven't.
I'm not
What?
gonna trust people.
Well, okay, so this is like a real life scenario where one time, at one of the old apartments I used to live in, the neighbors like started fighting, and at first it sounded like they were just arguing, and at one point one of them starts screaming for help, like legit, like help,
God.
help, help, and they're
Mm.
throwing stuff around, and they're like, please help me, like she's begging for help, and I called the cops. I'm like, I'm not gonna get involved. So,
Yeah.
but I called the cops, and they legit came over. We're like, hey, like we got a noise complaint, and she's like, oh, we're fine. I'm just getting ready to work. And
Huh?
yeah, and then they close the door and then start arguing right away. And then the same thing, she just starts screaming for help.
So
It's-
yeah, so,
so-
some
That's
people
so
just can't get
weird.
out of over.
Yeah, so I
we
think
won't go into sadness, but yeah.
It does
But
suck.
I mean, it's the 70s. I guess this wasn't happening a lot, like people killing people through houses, but I feel
Yeah.
like these people kind of are like, maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
she's a crazy. She sounds like she's
And
crazy.
it's Halloween. She could have been in a costume too.
That's
Like she
true.
could have been acting this out,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was
Yeah.
like, oh well, it's
It's- yeah.
Halloween,
Sorry-
so
Yeah, sorry
It
that I
could-
mentioned the whole Texas thing. I just like to fucking theorize shit.
It could just be like, a teenager playing with them.
Yeah, because it's Halloween.
Yeah.
So I feel like any other night, maybe they would have opened the door. But since it's this night and this night is known for that, they're like, fuck her.
Yeah.
So she runs. So then after that, she just runs straight to Tommy's house, which she should have just done that in the first place. And she can't find the keys. So she's trying to get Tommy to wake up. So she throws like a planner.
Yeah, a planner
A
like
planter.
by the window.
Yes. And
Yeah, not a planner like you
No,
put your
no, no.
schedule in.
Planter, sorry.
Lantern. There you go.
So Tommy wakes up and he's like, I'm coming. And he takes forever to go downstairs. And Michael's just
he's
coming.
Just like rubbing his eyes.
Who
like,
is
"Ugh."
it?
Yeah.
Honestly, me.
Yeah, honestly, I would have just been like, all right, yeah, sure.
So Tommy lets her in. She shuts off the lights, tells Tommy to go upstairs. And I think Tommy's like, is it the boogeyman? Is it the boogeyman? Like,
Yeah.
he knows.
Yeah.
And she's not saying anything.
No.
She's
And
just like, just listen to me.
Mm-hmm. And she turns off the light, but she notices that this house has a side. Was it a window or a side door?
Window.
Yeah.
Okay. The window's open. So either Michael was already in there before she went to Annie's house.
Yeah, because the line is cut. She goes
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah, she goes to call the police and it's already cut.
right.
So I'm like, Michael did this while she was walking to Annie's house. He did all this and then just went back to get her.
Yeah,
Which I'm assuming
so fucking
he's
crazy.
smart. Like you don't like while
Very.
we're watching this, he's fucking smart. So she sits down in front of the couch, crouching, crying, and she's holding a knitting needle.
Oh yeah,
And
Mhm.
this is where Michael pops up behind her from the couch and stabs, but misses again.
again.
Yeah.
And she stabs him in the neck with the knitting needle, and he falls, and she thinks she got him.
Which honestly, what bothers me about this one scene, which is really good, but what bothers me is that there's no sound effect. And if you notice, anytime Michael gets stabbed, there's no sound effects when
doesn't
she
say
stabs
anything.
him. Like not even him. It's just like when she stabs his neck, there's no like you know,
I feel like there
something.
was.
No,
No?
Even
Oh.
when
Maybe I'm-
later the other stab, there's no sound effects. So all you hear
Which
is
is
Michael going,
interesting.
and I don't know if
That
it's
one,
just,
yeah, that one I didn't hear nothing with the eye.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that
we could
you don't
revisit
hear
it.
anything.
I
Right.
wonder if that's like going further into the theory that he's an
not
entity.
human. Oh, that would be interesting.
Because I feel like they used maybe some stabbings. I think they use watermelons.
Yeah, I think that's how they used to do
Yeah.
it back then. But you get to hear Laurie get stabbed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You see the boyfriend Bob get stabbed. You
Yeah,
hear it
yeah.
all, everything else except Michael. And I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
about,
maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe it's a thing like Michael. You can't hurt him. You're not hurting him, so it's
Yeah.
like fuck it. Like
Fuck it, he doesn't need a sound. You can't hurt
well,
him.
in the sense of like they call him the shape. Like he's just there. He's nothing. You know,
Yeah.
it's just a face.
yeah.
You know, a shadow with a face. And so she goes. This is when she goes upstairs.
Yeah, Michael's
And-
just passed out on the
Yes.
floor. He gets stabbed on the neck and
she
falls
she
over.
thinks she killed him. And I'm like, girl, that little needle in the stab. Maybe you
little,
could have.
little.
Well, maybe
That's a
the
big
thing
ass
is, I feel like
needle.
she didn't go deep enough because of the mask being rubber, and maybe she didn't go through like deep enough.
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe if she did go deep enough and like without the mask, she killed him. But
Yeah.
he went like this. He fell, and she thinks she killed him, and she's telling the kids that they're safe. And Michael comes up the stairs, and the kids see him, and
Bitch,
she
she's like,
screams.
bitch, you said we were safe.
Right.
Excuse you.
Which I have a funny personal story about a knitting needle if you guys want to hear it.
Oh God, what? Who did you stab?
No, myself.
Oh.
So
the real Michael Myers here, guys.
so we were on a road trip and I have a pretty big family, so we had like this huge SUV and I was sitting all the way in the back and I was learning how to knit. We were at a gas station, so I went up to show my mom my progress and she was in the front seat, of course, and so I showed her and she's like, oh wow, that's so cool. And then I'm all proud of myself and I'm like climbing back to the back of the truck, and I jumped to sit down because I'm like so proud of myself, and there's a knitting needle that was like stuck in between the seats, and oh my
girl.
god, it went so far up my ass.
Oh.
But like it punctured my cheek, not like up my own asshole.
She didn't say hole. She said
No.
ass. So her cheeks. Oh man.
It hurt so
Oh,
bad.
that's
So you see,
painful.
Michael is a tank because he didn't even yelp. He literally went
Yeah.
and fell over. Jesus Christ.
So Michael's coming. She basically pushes the kids into the room, locks the door. She runs into the other room, opens the balcony door, pretends that she jumped out, and
Which
then
doesn't work at all.
She goes into the closet. She's sitting in the closet, crouching, and Michael realizes that she's in there, so he's trying to break. Why couldn't he get the doors open? Was she
So when she went into the closet, she tied it up with something.
Oh, okay,
you see
okay.
that it's just kind of quick.
I didn't look up. I think I was
Yeah.
writing during that, but because it's one of those regular closet doors you just open slides. But he breaks through, turns on the light, looks at her. She grabs one of those old,
so scary too.
Wired.
wired hangers, and
Yeah.
she stabs him in the eye. And she has good aim because she just
and again, no sound effect.
yeah, and she stabs him. And this is when he drops his knife. She picks it up and she finally gets him. She stabs him
she
here.
stabs him, and she thinks that he's dead.
Like
Yeah.
in the gut too, like literally right on the gut. He falls over,
And he falls and he's laying down like the Undertaker.
Which, so I mean, a little spoiler, but is he acting or did he actually
I'm sure-
pass out?
No,
or
I'm pretty
what?
sure he.
Or is he like a cat and has like 9 lives?
I don't feel like
We
he's.
don't
I don't
know.
feel like he's acting. Knowing Michael, he would have kept going for her. I feel like he actually felt it and he just went back.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, so we don't know if like he actually died
Yeah.
or if he like felt it. I mean, it seems like he felt it. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think he would just be acting,
Well,
but I
because
don't
he
know.
does make noises, right? He goes,
Yeah,
"Oh."
he you can kind of hear like a groaning and stuff.
I feel like pain or something. I don't know, but it's sequels. So she basically goes back out, tells the kids to go run and get help. She goes to tell them to a neighbor's house. She mentions the name and I didn't catch it, but she tells them to go to a neighbor's house and get help. The kids go, but Laurie's not looking back, and Michael gets up like literally like the Undertaker.
Yup, just like
Yeah.
Darth Vader, like
super creepy. I loved it.
And he starts walking over to her. The kids are out, and we cut real quick back to the kids screaming. Loomis sees them and notices what house they came from, so Loomis is coming, and Laurie kind of gets up and starts walking and not looking back, which I feel like a normal person would have looked back, but she just doesn't.
yeah.
Movie plot.
Yeah.
But Michael's right behind her, and he like starts choking her, and she's like, "Oh!" And she's like trying to fight back, which honestly I would have been swinging like, bitch, let go of me. And she gets his mask off, and you see the stab in the eye, like they did a prosthetic for it, and he kind of fine. And
he's
so hot.
Yeah.
He's super attractive.
and he kind of like, oh shit, she took let me put my mask back on so I can go back to being like supernatural. And Loomis shows up, shoots him once here. He kind of starts falling back, and then Loomis runs into the room and shoots him 5 more times, and he falls over the balcony.
He falls over the balcony, like the door that Laurie opened.
Yeah.
To pretend that she jumped over the balcony.
So it
Michael
worked. It
ends
worked
up-
in her favor.
Exactly.
And like, yeah,
I
in a
guess
way.
everybody's favorite.
Actually, no, because then he disappears.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If
Yeah.
he would have fell there, then Loomis would have probably finished him there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, he falls over the balcony. Laurie is crying, and she's like, "Was that the boogeyman?" And this is when
And
Loomis,
Loomis says,
well, as a matter of fact, it was.
as a matter of fact, it was.
Thank you.
Because that's how he talks.
Yeah.
You
And-
said it like a 50s detective.
Yeah, and she like looks away and starts like crying, and then Loomis walks to look outside, and Michael is gone, and we get the music.
Yes. Which
Which
we kind of ruined that big reveal by mentioning it
By
earlier.
mentioning earlier. I'll cut it in post.
Oh,
I'll
sorry,
cut it in post.
but yeah,
Um,
guys,
But
that's
yeah,
the
it just
movie.
kind of like shows like a highlight of
the
the
night.
town.
Mhm,
And,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
That's a movie,
That
guys.
is the movie.
Yeah, and
And-
the end credits are super quick because there's barely anybody in
Yeah,
this movie.
there was like
Yeah.
2 or 3 slides.
It was
and
like
that's
2
it.
minutes of credits,
Yeah,
literally.
it's not long at all, but very good film.
Very
Yes.
good.
I think
Was-
everyone should watch this movie.
Was it just me, or when she takes off the mask, does he look a little scared?
Yeah, actually, he
I,
kind of does.
I feel like without the mask, he's nobody. I feel like the mask is what gives him his confidence and power.
That's true.
That's his thing. I feel like that's because even when he killed his sister, he put on a mask.
Yeah,
That's true.
He didn't just do it without a mask.
that's interesting.
It's
which-
very interesting.
I want to like how do I say this? Like I feel like he's supernatural,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. Maybe he did make a deal with the devil
As a little kid,
as a little kid.
he got a Ouija board.
I don't fucking know. And I just think the mask is what gives him his. Because I don't want to say that the mask gives him his power. Because in the beginning he used a clown mask, but I also don't know how strong he was as a kid.
Well,
Yeah.
it might just be that he's not confident when you can see
Who he is.
his emotions on his face. You know,
That is true. Because with the mask, he's he's
completely
emotionless.
emotionless.
Yeah.
Well, I always had the theory. I wanted to watch the third movie for the Halloween special, but Carlos wanted to go back in order.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
I
know what
always
you're gonna
thought
say.
that would be that. So in the third movie, it's like Haunted Mask or something, right?
It's a
or the
company
haunted...
that makes these masks, and you put them on, and you can't take. I don't remember it, guys. I'm sorry if I'm gonna say this wrong. It's been years since I've seen this
Yeah,
movie.
it's been a
I haven't
long
seen the
time.
movie since a kid, but from what I remember, you put the mask on and you watch something on the TV that night of Halloween. You can't take the mask off, and the mask
Ooh.
kills you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I
So
always
it's
thought
like
it was like
fucked up
a
version of the mask.
exactly. So I always thought that it was made by the same company or something, and
And
then
he-
it gives them these abilities or
Yeah.
so
But
whatever.
that doesn't really make any sense with him having a mask as a kid and killing
Well,
someone.
it could be like the mask could be from the same company.
The
as well.
company's
Like it could
probably
be like
been
a big
around
company.
a long time, but the thing with that is that in the third one, the movie Halloween is a movie in that universe.
Yeah, they're watching.
They're
There's a scene
they're
where you see
watching
it.
Halloween because the
What?
thing
Oh, you
is,
see, it's a commercial for the movie.
yes, the thing is, John Carpenter did not want to make sequels to Michael.
Yeah.
Halloween was supposed to be an anthology, and it was supposed to be different movies every
No,
year,
'cause-
whatever.
No. I think what happened was they made the first one, but the second one was supposed to be it. They were gonna make one
He
sequel.
didn't
And that
want to
was
make
it.
the second one.
Are you sure?
He didn't want to make it. I don't think he wanted to make it. I think he just agreed to it because even writing it, he didn't want to do it, and he wrote it like while drinking. He said
Yeah.
beers a night, like
Because if it was gonna be an anthology, then the second one would have been different. But I feel it's
Mhm.
just like he ended the second one, and then if they were gonna do a third one, it was gonna be a different movie.
because he didn't direct the second one.
No.
It was someone else.
Hmm.
And yeah, so once we got to the third one, people got mad because Michael wasn't in it, so they just decided Michael's gonna be the face of Halloween.
So then on the fourth one and on, they brought
Yeah.
him back.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's I think like my theory. I always
I
think
love
he's
this movie.
supernatural.
I do too.
But I do have a fact that this movie was supposed to be called the babysitter murderer,
Yes.
Okay.
and they changed it to Halloween.
I'm
Which
glad they did.
yeah, babysitter murderer, or
Well,
yeah, it just
'cause
doesn't sound.
I think they had a conversation, and it's like there's no movie out there named Halloween.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the first, and
They can
they
mark it
took
off
the
of
title, which I feel like that's what like kind of like inspired Friday the 13th to be named after a certain. I wouldn't say holiday
Day.
because
like a
holiday
superstitious day.
Friday the
Yeah.
13th is a certain day in the year, so they happened every
Which
Friday the
does it-
13th.
Does it even have to do with Friday 13th?
What?
I don't remember the old.
We're gonna like the movie.
We
I think
don't-
it takes place on Friday the 13th. That's why
Okay.
it's called Friday the 13th.
Okay, we're gonna watch these soon.
Yeah.
So
I've never seen Friday the 13th, and I know absolutely nothing about it.
yeah, I think the only thing she knows is that Jason is
Yeah.
like from those movies.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think this movie, I don't know about today, but I think it was ranked number 5 in the scariest movies of all time by Entertainment
Ooh.
Weekly.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
interesting.
Yeah. Which, yeah.
It's just
If-
like for
if-
the time.
For the
yes,
time that it was,
definitely.
That's
yes.
true.
Because I
yes.
wasn't scared. There was jump
Yeah.
There was
scared,
no
but-
slashers like this. There was no There's no Friday. There was no Nightmare. There was no Child's Play. There was no Scream.
That's true.
And this is like the first, and it's like no one's seen this before. And it's like this guy with no purpose at all coming to kill these random girls for no reason. And that's just scary.
All right, so let's get into segments. So who's the daddy of the movie?
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers.
Obviously, okay.
And that's it for the segments. Thank you guys for joining us.
No. So marry, fuck, kill. Carlos?
I'm going to kill Annie. Kill Annie. Kill Annie.
Oh shit, that's it. Fuck Myers.
And Jonathan?
Sorry. No, I'm going to. Kill Annie. I will marry Michael Myers, obviously.
Duh.
Because he doesn't talk, so it's like he's just not there.
So you get all the words.
Yeah, and there's no one here that Michael.
What about Bob?
Bob can get it.
There you go.
Bob can get it. Yeah.
But what about Laurie's dad? You were saying
Oh, he was
something
kind of
about him.
attractive in the beginning, but then Jonathan said he looks racist. So I'm like,
He does. He looks like he would not like us.
He just looks like a businessman.
So I think my kill definitely had to be Annie. I
She's
just
just
did not
annoying.
like her at all.
Mhm.
Fuck Judith Myers, because I want to motorboat her
Yo.
titties. Like,
That's a good
she
point.
can get it.
okay.
And then Mary. Who would I marry in this movie? I guess Laurie. Laurie's cute.
She has a future. Well, not anymore after this movie, but she has a future.
Yeah.
She does have a future. She's smart and
Yeah.
she's cute.
You just have to deal with her PTSD after this. But then,
Yeah. Oh fuck. That's true. I can't jump scare. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't scare her as a joke. She's gonna start crying.
Yeah. For me, it would obviously kill Annie because she's just so fucking annoying. And also she just didn't care when Lester died, and that broke my heart.
Okay.
Yeah, she was kind of glad. No, she didn't know
Well,
he died.
Yeah, she didn't know he died, but
That's
yeah.
true. I would fuck Michael Myers because he's sexy.
Right?
Yeah, he is. He
Give
is.
him a bath.
But I don't think
Be good.
I could deal with him just being silent and sitting in a corner,
Just-
like with his hands on
You're
his
like
knees.
riding him,
Well-
and he's just staring at you like emotionless, and you're just like,
He starts
okay.
choking me.
He doesn't sleep. He just stand in the corner of the room, just make sure you're okay all day.
Yeah, I know.
all
Like
night.
he would just kind of be sitting. I'm picturing him sitting in a corner, like with his hands on his knees and just staring at a wall. And I don't think I would want to marry that. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of boring.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
take me on a
Ain't-
date every once in a
Yeah,
while.
but I feel like anyone that pisses me off, I'm like, Michael, can you go do something about that?
and he just stands up really quick and
Just starts running.
walks out the door. No, he doesn't run.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he just disappears. He's a ghost.
Yeah, and then marry none of the guys in this movie because I would have to train them,
Yeah.
and that just sounds like a lot of work. I kind of liked what was her name?
Lindsay?
Linda.
Linda?
Linda.
Linda.
Lindsay was a little
Oh
girl.
yeah,
Jonathan.
Lindsay was the little girl. Oh gosh.
I kind of liked Linda, but also, what was the sister's name?
Judith.
Judith was sexy.
She was hot. She was so hot.
She got like what 5 seconds of fame.
And she's hot as fuck.
But she's hot.
I guess.
I'm gonna go with Judith
Yeah,
because
that's a good choice.
Because Lindsay, no, not Lindsay.
Fuck.
Guys,
What's her name?
Linda.
Linda. I'm
They
so
mentioned
bad
her
at
name like
names.
twice.
Linda, listen, Linda.
Linda, listen.
Yeah, because Linda's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, she a little bit a snob.
All right.
But I
Any
like her.
favorite quotes?
The Evil Is Gone by Loomis.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Mhm.
My favorite one was he has the blackest eyes, the devil's
Uh,
what is it?
Emotionless face.
You can't mess up your favorite
Yeah,
quote.
I completely
Come
forgot to
on.
write it too.
It's like the emotionless face, the
The
blackest
blackest
eyes,
eyes.
the devil's eyes,
Yeah, and-
purely and simply evil. And
yeah,
I love that one too.
That scene, that one's a really good phrase.
He just makes Michael
Which
scary.
this is why I think Loomis isn't just in this movie to give like really good quotes. Like that is it. Like there's no really.
And to make Michael scary.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
I liked the one where Tommy, is that his name?
Mhm.
Tommy's asking Laurie about the boogeyman, and she goes, "What did he look like?" And he goes, "The boogeyman."
Yeah, it was really cute. It was super cute. And then let me see. I think I had a few like facts that I like to mention. They wrote the script in about 10 days supposedly,
Mm-hmm.
and they filmed the movie in 20 days,
Mm-hmm.
which was that's pretty fast for like
Yeah.
for a movie. I think you mentioned to me that they filmed it during the summer.
So it was during I believe it was during the summer in California. So if you look in the background, you can see palm trees down the street.
And it's supposed to be
Yeah,
in,
because
in
Illinois,
Illinois, right?
yeah, and it's supposed to be fall. So what they did with the leaves, as they like sprayed these leaves like fall color, and they only had like a certain amount, so they would throw them on the floor, shoot their scene, and they would pick up all the leaves again
Oh,
to then
God.
reuse them again. Yeah, and they only had like maybe 12 people on this crew, so even the actors would help out and stuff.
Yeah,
And I think they had to use some of their own clothing. 'cause they
yeah,
didn't have a
that's what that
budget
was
for
another
clothing.
one.
That sounds
And-
like so much fun
Yeah,
to be
I,
a part
they
of.
I feel
though.
like they had a lot of fun because it was just a small group and they would like work together. You know?
Yeah.
So it sounded like a fun time.
Yeah, Laurie supposedly bought all her outfits herself in this movie, and she only got them under $100 in Macy.
Shout
So,
out Macy's.
Shout out Macy's. I think they're out of business, right?
I don't know.
I think they were going to be.
I don't know.
I honestly don't know.
Well, that is it for the movies. If you guys have any comments or any theories, let us know. Follow us.
Please.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram at Horror Daddies. Also on Facebook and Twitter. I'm still working on the YouTube stuff. We want to get our setup straight. But yeah, just let us know. And also, we do want to mention we were reading some of the comments, and we did see the reviews. We want to let you know that we are completely and utterly thankful for all of your nice words and everything you guys, say about our podcast.
Yeah, a lot of them just made me want to cry. They made me so happy.
Yeah.
We
She's
were
so emotional.
Yeah. We were at work when we first read them, and I couldn't focus on my job because I was just so happy.
Yeah, it was very nice. And hey, just let us know how we're doing. If you guys think we can improve somewhere, let us know. I mean, as long as you're being, nice about it, you don't have to be an asshole. And if you're being a hater, you can catch these hands. Let me know. You can catch these hands real quick.
Oh god. But no, honestly, thank you everyone who's listening. Thank you everyone who's downloading, and thank you everyone who's sharing. And please tell all your friends and family, if they love horror, show them. If you do give us a 5-star review, we will give you a little shout out on all the social media platforms. So
we'll share it in our stories.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Share with your friends, share with your family, let everyone know. And thank you so much for giving us a chance at this. So much love.
There's more to come, and
Yes.
hopefully we can improve and have guests over. We're just new to all this, so we're trying to figure things out.
And I actually want to do in the future a questionnaire. So I want you guys later, not now, but later on, send us questions, anything that you want to know about horror related. I want everyone to do a questionnaire episode.
Any stories or suggestions that you have, also send them my way on Instagram, or you can email us at horrordaddies@gmail.com. We would love to do reading stories to you guys as a mini episode maybe.
But no copywriting, please.
Yeah, no copywriting. And of course we would give you credit. Yeah.
Oh, and also, if any of you happen to deal with sleep paralysis like me, please let me know. I want to hear your experiences because I have a few that I would share later on about that. That freaked me the fuck out. But
we love talking to you guys, and this is just kind of really awesome to be a part of because I wasn't expecting us to have people that are actually talking to us so soon.
Yeah, it was kind of impressive just seeing a lot of people just want to have conversations. And, we definitely want to have it with you guys. And if we don't respond or anything, we are busy people. We work overnights. It's
5 days a week, 40 plus hours a week. So
and we're trying to do this on the side as well.
Yeah, and then we're also going to school on top of that. So
we're trying, but we love you guys and thank you.
It's not Halloween yet as we're recording this, but we will be having some photo shoot for our Halloween costumes.
Yes.
So follow us on Instagram if you
You're
wanted
gonna
to
wanna
see that. You're going to want to. And
have a safe and happy Halloween.
Please.
Always check your candy and wear gloves and a mask. Obviously,
and
it's
watch Halloween.
And watch Halloween. Yeah, you definitely need to. And if someone's screaming for help, Michael Myers brought up their ass. So please open the door for them.
See you in your dreams.
Horror Daddies.